to the stand. Sheriff Center Kanoa Leahy along with Chris McLaughlin. The Hawaiian Tel FCU starting lineup scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Hawaii coming in 12-9 overall, 7-9, and currently in 7th place of the MPSF. UC Irvine 8-15 overall, 5-11, and as it currently stands, outside the top 8 who will qualify for the MPSF postseason tournament. And as Hawaii serves first to start the match, it is a hitting error right off the bat for UC Irvine. And so Joe Worsley, the freshman setter for Hawaii, getting his 6th start tonight, will once again serve with Hawaii up 1-0. Worsley out of Moraga, California. The pass by the libero Dylan Hoffman. And it is Michael Saeda on the opposite side, dug up. Now Siki Zarkovic for Hawaii. Nice dig there by Hoffman. We got 2 of the best liberos in the conference sharing the floor tonight as the outside hit put down by David Parker, a 6'1 sophomore from Rockland, California.
Great dig by Dylan Hoffman in the middle of that rally. As you said, he's like number 3 digger in the conference, and Colby Kanatake, I think, is number 1. We're going to see a lot of digs tonight.
Here's Steinbun Tilburg from the outside position for Hawaii. Caught it a bit fat there and sends it long. So it is 2 serving 1 here in favor of UC Irvine. Anteaters ranked in the national rankings for a while, but have slowly and steadily, progressively sunk in the national rankings.
Just snuck back in at 14 just this week.
Here's Worsley, backside to Siki, and he puts it down. Siki Zarkovic, who is 3rd in the MPSF in kills per set. He's putting them down at a 3.96 clip.
He gets a nice split block there. Worsley did a nice job of faking out the block, so Siki got a nice swing.
And so Zarkovic will serve. Irvine goes to Saeda by the double block. Worsley had his forearms on the would-be dig, but it sails into the seats. And it's another point for Irvine. 3 serving 2, and Michael Saeda back to serve. 6'5 junior from South Pasadena, California. Entered the year as the full-time setter. Has moved now over to a full-time opposite hitter. Well, maybe not full-time, but that's his primary role. Good pass there by Kobe Kanetake. And Kupono Fei pounds the Terraflex.
Great set by Worsley that time, right on the money. Right where Kupono Fei could hit line, cross court, and in between the 2 blockers.
Fei hitting 247 on the year, 2.64 kills per set. That's good for 3rd on the team. Now Nainoa Frank will serve for Hawaii, and he tickles the end line. It's an ace for Frank.
There's his mom, Roxanne, right there next to the lady in with a yellow lei.
Frank, a 6'5 freshman from Kaneohe, who has worked his way into the regular rotation at the middle blocker position. Much to the delight of his ohana.
His grandmother there, too.
The middle set that goes to Jason Agopian, blocked back. Now Saeda from the back row. Access denied. Hendrik Mole, leader on the team with 68 blocks coming in, 9th in the MPSF in blocks per set. And he put up the wall right there, Chris.
He did a nice job moving to the outside. He timed it just perfectly. Put up 4 hands across.
So Frank with another serve, and this time sends it a bit long. 57 miles per hour on the radar gun. And so it'll be 4 serving 5. David Parker back to serve for Irvine. UC Irvine not used to being in the position that they are here this year. This has been a program that has represented the standard of success across the college volleyball landscape as Kupono Fei finds the deep corner to get the side and the point back for Hawaii.
Coach Niffen was telling us before the game, his players are so unused to being in this position. You know, Irvine volleyball on the campus, it's like their football. They're like, they're like idols around the campus.
On Tilburg with the serve. The pass by Agopian. Set goes outside. This is Thomas Hodges, and he goes high hands and down for the Anteaters point. Yeah, Irvine has won 4 of the last 9 national championships. They were the regular season and MPSF tournament champions a year ago.
Picked for 2nd this year.
Preseason 2nd in the MPSF poll as that serve by Agopian goes into the twine. But injuries, certainly the one that stands out the most, Tamir Hershko, their first-team All-American from last season, who is said to be out the rest of the year, has already missed 15 matches with an injury. And so his loss obviously has set this downward spiral in motion. Hodges, oh, he got way up. A great dig by Kobe Kanetake. Bump set goes to Faye from the back row. Couldn't do anything with it. Kobe Kanetake, though, who has been playing with and through some back pain. This was him in all his splendor right here.
Wow, he just pops this up nicely. Kept it high for Worsley. Worsley put up a nice bump set to Kapono Faye. Faye could not keep it in the court.
A nice swing there by Hendrik Moll, but it was Hodges who was able to put up the block there on that opposite side position. And Irvine gets the point. It will be Dante Chakravorty, 6'3" freshman, who has taken over as the primary setter with the serve. Roll shot there by Siki, nicely done.
Siki has that peripheral vision that's just uncanny, having played so much volleyball in his life. Probably since right after coming out of the womb, basically.
8 serving 7, good serve by Moll. Chakravorty goes to Saeda on the outside, and he's able to, with that southpaw swing, pinball it around and down for another Irvine point. It's 8 serving 8 here in this opening set.
Saeda's played 4 different positions this year. He's played outside, he's played setter, played opposite, he's been a serving specialist, and he's played on the bench.
Jack of all trades for sure. Here's Siki on the outside, off the block and out. So point for the Rainbow Warriors, 9 serving 8 here. Hawaii currently sitting 7th in the MPSF. 8-5 at home, but they've lost 8 of their last 11. Coming off of a bye week though, Chris, and going into the bye week had reason for positive feelings with the 2 road wins at CSUN. And that's a positive as well for Hawaii. The ace dealt out of the deck by freshman setter Joe Worsley. There's a look at David Niffen, the 4th-year head coach for Irvine.
And Worsley's gone from serving specialist to starting setter.
Overpass by Hodges. Frank gobbles it up. Hitting .453 on the year.
What a story on Frank, having gone the route that he's gone since graduating from Kalaheo High School. Gone through the junior college route to get to UH.
Backside set goes to Saeda, and Kapono Faye had it in the basket, but couldn't pop it up.
And I watched Saeda play in high school when he played for Pasadena Poly, and he was an opposite then. And interesting to see that 4 years later, he's now playing opposite again and doing quite an amazing job of it.
How about the amazing job done by Zarkovic there on the opposite side? And that wasn't the best run-up or approach, but he made it work. Curled it around that solo block.
He likes hitting that right side, actually. Could hit 3 times on the left if he wanted to, but he goes that 1 time on the right. Almost picked up an ace there.
Great job to keep the play alive by Chakravorty. Here's Von Tilburg. Block kept alive by Worsley. Siki from behind the line. Roll shot. Not enough on it. Point for Irvine.
Boy, he's struggling to get much separation from this pesky Irvine team. Charlie Wade, I think, Hawaii's lost them like 11 times in a row. So there might be somewhat of a jinx there that I think about once in a while.
As that serve got a piece of one of the Hawaii players, and so it is an ace for Irvine. Even though it sailed beyond the end line, it caught a piece of one of the Rainbow Warriors out there.
I think it got Kobe Kanetake. Saeda number 5 in the country in aces per set. 37 aces, 38 aces now on the year.
Came in 3rd in the conference. That one, though, nobody touched. And it sails long. Hawaii coming off the bye week. You see Irvine, though, coming off of one of the all-time road swings, non-conference at this point in the year, where they played at Ball State Sunday, at Penn State Monday, at George Mason on Tuesday, and here they are here in Honolulu, Hawaii. Good job by Frank off the ricochet. Worsley goes high and away to Fay. High hands, kept alive by Saeda. Outside, this is Parker. Plugs it through the block and down.
David Parker, a smallish outside hitter at 6'1", was a Fab 50 player when he was in high school, played for the USA Youth National Team. So he's got credentials, but not great size on the outside, but he's got good leaping ability and hits the quick set very well.
Parker with the serve. Good pass by Zarkovic. He gets the set with no blockers up, and you can pretty much mark that in the book if you don't get a blocker up on Siki, even from the back row.
That's what they call the big or the back row quick, made famous, by the way, by UC Irvine. John Sproul was coaching there. With the back row quick.
On Tilburg. Pass tight to the net, set outside to Hodges, and boy, Hodges has some boosters showing him off right there. Transferred after the 2014 season to Irvine from Pacific, and while he was with the Tigers was an MPSF honorable mention and all-freshman team selection. He's got some skills.
Also a great beach player for Australia. Played for the under-21 team and the under-23. So he's quite versatile. Hasn't started a lot this year, but earned the starting spot tonight as David Niffen continues to experiment.
Got a couple of
starting lineups.
Got a couple of subs in there too. Kyle Russell and the server Tucker Pikula. And Kupono Fay puts it down for point number 15 in this opening set. Timeout on the floor. Rainbow Warriors by a deuce. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match. Chris?
Well, for UCI, they've got to stay healthy. They've had the worst injury bug in 15 years at UCI. No fewer than 6 players, including 3 starters, have been out. Biggest losses to Tamir Hershko, the returning All-MPS and All-American for Hawaii. Extra Tabasco. That's a little more heat on their serve to get UCI out of system so they can't set their biggest weapon, their middles.
A couple of aces already in this opening set for Hawaii, and Siki Zarkovic with 5 kills, Kupono Fay with 3 off the pretty hot starts themselves. Out of the timeout, it will be Fay, the junior out of Punahou. 10 aces on the season for him. 15 serving 13 in favor of Hawaii. Set goes back row to Parker. And he jumped off a trampoline there. Another point for Irvine. It's been pretty back and forth seesaw style here through this opening stanza.
It looked like he did jump off a trampoline. He just skied. Great shot.
Soft serve by Chakravorty. Outside, here's Siki. He tools the block. That is kill number 6 on 9 attempts for Siki Zarkovic.
Well, the average is, what, 4 kills per set? He's already got 2 over that. We're only halfway through the first set.
Hitting .304 on the year. You see what he did back on March 12th at CSUN. Hendrik Moe goes into the twine.
That had some extra Tabasco on it. 65 miles per hour for Hendrik Moe.
And what's the thinking there? I mean, more heat obviously increases the risk factor, but I guess increases the reward factor possibly as well. That was sent long by Hodges.
Well, if nothing else, you hope that more heat is going to result in an errant pass where they can't run the middle, where they get out of system. And that's what the hope is. We'll see if Worsley can put some extra heat on it. He does a little cross-court cuts, nice shot, area 1-to-1.
Saeda missed the court wide. Nice matador-style maneuver there on the far sideline by Kobe Kanetake. And it will be a 3-point advantage here for Hawaii, pending this Joe Worsley serve. Again, goes into that deep corner. Pass by Hodges. And an opportunity here for Hawaii. Kanetake bump set to Zarkovic from off the net. Oh, there was chili pepper water all over that one, Chris.
Broken play is going to cause David Niffen to call timeout.
A 3-0 run for Hawaii. Siki Zarkovic has 7 kills. Welcome back. Let's check out the series record sponsored by Aston Hotels and Resorts. Hawaii leading the all-time series 30-21, but the Anteaters have won 11 of the last 12, including the last 5 in Honolulu. In the last meeting, January 30th, 2015, that was part of the Outrigger Invitational. won by Irvine. And the aforementioned Tamir Hershko out for the season for the Anteaters. Their first team All-American, was the MVP of that tourney last year. See the baseball score. Hawaii up 3-0 on Santa Clara in the third. We'll keep you posted as that set sailed outside the antenna. Too tall for even David Parker's boosters, and it's a 5-point Hawaii advantage.
No trampoline out there, I guess. It's just hitting out of the back row.
So Worsley again to serve. Pass by Hoffman. Backside set to Saeda. He can do some damage from that opposite pin. There's no doubt about that.
What a run he's had recently. On March 12th, 24 kills. 10 days later, 24 kills, matched his career high.
Self-serve there, pass Kanetake, Worsley, backside. Siki Zarkovic is just in a very matter-of-fact role right now. 8th kill for him on 11 attempts.
You know, he's making Joe Worsley look like a genius setter. You know, just keep going to Siki. He'll make you look good.
Yeah.
Kill after kill.
Outside set, and that's Parker, and he's able to find that far sideline via that hard cut.
He had a good night against George Mason on Sunday when he had in a 5-set win. He got, it was on Tuesday actually, 14 kills, 18 digs.
So 17 serving 21, and that went into the net by Saeda. His reaction was pretty funny. He sort of bit into his fist.
Like, how dare you do that?
So here comes Brett Rosenmeyer into the match for Hawaii. Good write-up by Cindy Lewis on Rosenmeyer, 6'5" freshman from Virginia Beach, Virginia. That was in the Honolulu Star Advertiser. And of course, he hails from Virginia Beach, as does assistant coach Josh Walker. So a good connection there, certainly. Rosenmeyer has been a bit of a utility guy, and he is able to bring about a point via the ace right there.
Played in the youth national team with Colby Kanetake. Number 3 recruit in the country last year. They can play a lot of positions.
The nickname is Rosie. And it comes up roses again. Second straight ace for Brett Rosenmeyer. And Hawaii running away with things here in this opening set. It's Aloha ball here for the first. Pass by Hodges. Middle set, and that is sent long by Agopian. So Hawaii finishes on an 8-2 run to close out UC Irvine in the first set. 25-17, the final arithmetic there. Set 2 coming up.
OC Sports, presented on Oceanic Time Warner Cable, is sponsored by Straw and Hawaii Honda Dealers.
Welcome back on this beautiful Friday evening here at the Stan Sheriff Center. Take a look at head coach David Nippen in his 4th year, just 34 years of age. And he has his team traveling all over the creation here this season. In fact, just here in this past week, the Jack Pack tonight, racking up the frequent flyer miles. UC Irvine's spring break was a road trip where they went from Irvine, California to Muncie, Indiana to play at Ball State, to State College to play at Penn State, to Fairfax, Virginia, where they played against George Mason, to Honolulu, Hawaii to play these 2 matches, and then they're going to head back to Irvine, California. There you see the mileage, 5 matches, 4 states in 7 days.
They will have gone a month without playing in the Brent Event Center because they had some other tournaments in there where they had an A6 tournament at Long Beach where they weren't at home. They had another one when they went down to San Diego, they weren't at home. So it's been a long time since they've been to home sweet home.
And obviously they weren't anticipating all of the injuries and some of the struggles that they've been dealing with here, the turbulence of this season, if you will. But some people would look at that and say, wait, at this point in the season, they're scheduling a non-conference road swing like that? What are they thinking? What were they thinking, Chris?
Well, number 1, they were picked for number 2 in the league before they had this rash of injuries. when they were picked number 2 in the league, David Niffen, I think, felt that if we scheduled Penn State for a match, we can up our RPI, number 1. Number 2, we'll be playing at the place where they play the Final Four. So that was a bit of genius there. A lot of teams actually are doing that, going back to play at Penn State.
Siki Zarkovic gets another kill to open the scoring here in set number 2. That's kill number 9 here for Zarkovic. And that's going to increase his percentage on the night to 667. So he is feeling the flow. Joe Worsley will once again serve. Yeah, we asked David Niffen about that road trip. Said, whose idea was that? He says, it was my idea. I just don't know who approved it. Jason Agopian getting the side and point for Irvine with that middle position hammer, and it will be Saida to serve.
Yeah, Agopian's a good one. Hitting .396 on the year. Number 1 in kill percentage of the MPSF.
Overpass by Siki, and it was handled by David Parker, coming off of the redshirt year. As a V-Ball magazine Fab 50 selection at Whitney High School, where he also played basketball. And Irvine is up 2-1 here in the second. Saida brings it. Beautiful pass by Kanetake, and a quick middle set to Nainoa Frank. How about the pass by Kanetake there?
Not many teams will pass Saida's serve and get a perfect pass out of it where you can set the middle and be in system. But Colby Kanetake did just that.
And that's Agopian hitting it into the net. So that's a point for Hawaii on the Siki Zarkovic serve. And, that's sort of the subplot, if you will. Not only is Hawaii jockeying for playoff position, but we're coming down the home stretch of this conference schedule, which means we're coming close to senior night for this team. As Agopian is blocked. Good save that time by Chakravorty. Sent over. Chance here for Hawaii. Worsley to Faye. Down the line. Missed it wide. Point for the Anteaters. And you're talking about the final home matches in the not-too-distant future here for the likes of Siki Zarkovic and Kobe Kanetake. And these are 2 of the truly special players that Hawaii has had in its program dating back to the very beginning.
Yeah, they've been major program changers, had a major effect on the culture and the record books of this Hawaii program.
I know Frank doing what he does, hitting for a high percentage, and there's nobody even in the vicinity to try to put up too much resistance there, and it'll be Frank to serve. He's got 3 kills and 3 swings.
Brandon Healy, another senior.
Yep.
He had been here for 2 years, went to El Camino College for 2 years, then joined Hawaii.
So here's Agopian to serve. 4-all here in the second, and he floats one deep and out. Hawaii will have these 2 home matches against UC Irvine, then on the road at UCSB next week, and then they'll wrap up the regular season schedule at home once again against Cal Baptist. And that'll be all she wrote. As far as the seniors go, a good put down there by Thomas Hodges. We're tied again at 5. So, of course, senior night, something that's so unique and special here in Hawaii, but it's increased, I think, in terms of its value when you're talking about a senior class that includes such program contributors. Nice swing there by Hendrik Moll. And, hey, Joe Worsley's working that middle right now, Chris.
He started off slowly. He was working outside in rather than inside out. Middles have been patient, been going hard all the time, and now they're getting their sets, and I think it'll confuse the Irvine block just a little bit more.
Bonofé with the serve. Pass by Parker. Backside set goes to Hodges through the block. Saved for a moment by Faye, but only for a moment. Another point for the Anteaters. So they're going tit for tat here in this second set. Of course, the front row seats. Keep your head on a swivel. I learned the hard way prior to the game tonight. There's a pass by Kanetake. High and outside set goes to Siki Zarkovic. A little joust at the net. Pinballed around and sent back over. Chance for Hawaii. Worsley out to Zarkovic. Pounds it down. And Hawaii back up a point. And it was Siki Zarkovic, speaking of before the match, who sent an errant warm-up swing my way, hit a drink that was on the broadcast table all over.
Yeah.
All over me, all over my papers.
Luckily, we're not highlighting your shirt.
Parker goes off the block and out. You sit this close to the men's collegiate game at your own risk. Let's put it that way. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there's the shirt.
Can't really see the stain over here too well. Yeah. We'll be washing this instantly when we get home tonight. Zarkovic blocked. Poked around at the net. Irvine goes high and away to Parker from off the twine, and he sends it long.
Really nice cover that time by Kapono Faye. Little rat-tat-tat volleyball going on. Hawaii got the best of it at the end with an errant anteater swing.
Worsley forces an overpass, and then he goes backside set to Von Tilburg against a solo block. Great dig by Hoffman, though. Now Saeda, roll shot, diving save, Kanetake. Here's Siki from off the net block. Kanetake keeps it alive, still alive. Siki finishes the deal.
Even Charlie Wade is clapping. You don't see him do that often.
We were just talking about this senior class and how vital were two of the seniors on that sequence. Kanetake a couple of times, and then Zarkovic ends it.
What a rally. Both sides. Dylan Hoffman come up with a big dig in the middle of the rally as well for Irvine.
Hawaii up two. Here's Saeda on the opposite side. That's a nice looking dig by Worsley. And the set that almost hit the rafters there by Stein Von Tilburg.
Well, he's got some strong hands. That was a tough ball to set all the way across, I'm telling you. Ball was spinning.
Quiet night so far for Stein. No kills on just 3 swings. Saeda with the serve. Good pass by Siki. Gets the set on the opposite side. Was there a touch? No touch. Missed the court wide, and we're tied yet again for the 8th time. Saeda, 2-time CIF Player of the Year at Pasadena Polytechnic High School. Great pass once again, just to keep it going by Kanetake, but it was a little tight to the net. And so a violation called against the Rainbow Warriors, and Irvine with the lead. 3rd time we've had a lead change here in this 2nd set. And a 3-0 run by the Anteaters prompts Charlie Wade to signal for a timeout. We'll take a break as well. Welcome back. Here's the First Hawaiian Bank top 3 MPSF individual digs. Kobe Kanetake at the top of the stack. Interestingly enough, another local boy out of Kamehameha, Evan Enriquez for Stanford, number 2, and Irvine's Dylan Hoffman, number 3. And here was Kobe Kanetake in action just before that last timeout, where he made not 1 but 2 great saves, and then came up with the bump set that led to the Siki Zarkovic, his fellow senior, led to his kills. So Kobe Kanetake, sore back and all, still a joy to watch for anybody that comes over to the Stan Sheriff Center.
Yeah, he's worth the price of admission just to watch him. He's just an amazing player. Gives up his body on every play. Saeda with a really tough serve, but Kanetake handles it.
Good job handling the swing by Frank via Dylan Hoffman. And there's Worsley with a dig of his own. Now Faye comes swooping in, but the block was up. Agopian was all over it. 2nd on the team in blocks. Was a first-team All-MPSF selection last season.
When he played in high school in Deer Valley, they never lost a league match in 4 years.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So this must be a real shock to his system, the kind of season Irvine's having.
He's not used to losing.
Here's Zarkovic from the opposite side. Roll shot sniffed out by Parker. Here's Saeda from the back row, off the block and out, and Irvine putting together a bit of a rhythm, finding some success. They lead by 3 here in the second.
Saeda with 5 kills, Parker with 6, Hodges with 4.
And it's now a 5-0 Anteater run. And that time, Saeda sends it long. About as deliberate as one can get behind the service line. He sort of measures up the ball, kind of eyeballs it, almost like he's lining up a putt.
There you go.
Here's Zarkovic taking a few extra moments to get into the right frame of mind himself. Pass by Hodges. Set outside, and that one hit into the net by Parker. So Hawaii works back to within 1. Parker leading Irvine with 6 kills so far tonight, hitting .625 prior to that swing. Siki Zarkovic tops for Hawaii with 11 kills. He's hitting .474. Good serve there. Forces the overpass. Free chance here for Hawaii. Worsley high and away to Faye. Through the block. Kept alive by Saeda. Chakravorty goes back to Saeda. Right there was guess who? Kanetake. Bump set. Siki from the back row.
That was some kind of volleyball. I'll be kind of talking here. See, he gets stopped right before the swing. Then he backs up because the ball's coming hard. He's got to pop it up, keep it on his own side of the net, and it results in a point for Hawaii.
And we're tied for the 9th time here in set number 2. Lagopian diving one-hand save, but only for a moment by Siki Zarkovic. Lagopian with his 3rd kill. And it'll be David Parker back to serve.
Well, Gopian's been hitting around 0 all night long. It's not surprising he'll start racking up some kills and get up more near his 400 average for the year.
A few extra moments being taken to wipe some perspiration off of the Terraflex on the Hawaii side of the net. And here comes Parker. Perfect pass, Kobe Kanetake. Von Tilburg, a solo stoppage, courtesy Thomas Hodges.
Hodges is saying to the freshman, hey, welcome to the MPSF. Hodges from Australia and the University of Pacific.
Pass by Faye. Bump set Worsley goes to Zarkovic from the back row, went up over the block, and right there was Hoffman. So Saeda with the swing, and here's Root. Right back at you, says Nainoa Frank.
Solid block that time. Faye and Frank both going up at the same time, penetrating over the net. Frank getting most of it right there.
And he will serve for Hawaii. 13 serving 14. Set goes to Hodges, off the block and down. I mean, it has been back and forth for the majority of this match. But Irvine gets to 15 first in the second.
Big Island Candies, the perfect place to find the perfect gift. Visit them at their flagship store in Hilo at Ala Moana Center or online at BigIslandCandies.com to see their amazing selection, including delicious chocolate-dipped shortbreads.
Back here at the Stan Sheriff Center, Hawaii leading 1-0 on UC Irvine. It's number 8 versus number 14 in the latest AVCA poll. But the Anteaters have turned things around a bit here in the second set. They're up 15-13. How have they gained the advantage here in set 2?
Well, the distribution of sets, I think, is a little bit better than Hawaii's right now. Hawaii relies so much on Siki. I think that the other players have really got to start stepping it up.
Here's Saeda into the net. So an unforced hitting error there. Able to get Hawaii the point out of the timeout.
Everybody's got David Parker with 6 kills, Saeda with 5, Thomas Hodges with 5. Hodges has 5 kills, no errors, and 6 tries, hitting .833.
Got a couple of substitutions on the Hawaii side of the net, Chris. We're going to have Jennings Franciscovich, the other setter on the team, in to serve. And we also have Ian McKellar, former middle blocker who has basically moved back to his normal position as the opposite hitter as of late, into the match. Here's Faye off the bump set by McKellar. And there you go.
Ian McKellar comes off the bench, ice cold, comes in with ice in his veins, pops up a perfect bump set to Capono Fay. How about that?
And Fay able to knock it by a triple block attempt on the Anteaters side. Here's Franciskovic, 15 serving 15, 10th tie of the second set. Saeda. It's tied no more. He's got 6 kills.
I think David Nippen has found himself an opposite. Saeda brings heat. He brings accuracy.
And just a junior. Here's Fay. Through the double blocking down. A little confusion in the back row between Hoffman and Parker to the advantage of Hawaii.
Nice set by Jennings Franciskovic, right on the money, right in Capono Fay's wheelhouse. Could have gone line, could have gone angle. Chose to go OTT, over the top.
Fay tickles the tape. Saeda with the pass. He'll get the set on the outside, up and over the proposed block of Ian McKellar. Saeda not hitting for the grandest of percentages, just 133 prior to that hit, but he has been impressive hitting from a lot of different spots on the court.
He's had a good run this second half of the season.
Zarkovic, that one hit the antenna. And so that's a point for the Anteaters. They're back up 2.
You know, a rare error from Siki, hitting .476 prior to that with a dozen kills. Picks up his 3rd error right there. See Mark Presho, former Hawaii All-American, on the bench next to Niffen, longtime assistant in UCI.
Roll serve by Hodges, pass Kanetake. Zarkovic, the dig shot, pulled the string, and Hawaii gets the point.
Ooh, good look at the net cam there as both blockers got up. They were fine. It was the other 4 players who didn't formulate well.
Here's Hendrik Moll to serve for Hawaii. It's a good serve, but a great pass by Hoffman just to keep it alive. Chance now for Hawaii. Fay to Zarkovic. Another dig by Hoffman. Saeda will get a free swing at it. That's dug up by Fay. We keep this sequence going. Set to Zarkovic, and that was more than just a net violation. That was an all-out assault on the twine there on the Irvine side.
And ironically, last year at this time, that would not have been a net.
Yeah.
Last year was only the top of the cable that counted. Now the entire net is in play.
And that was about as violent a net violation as you can get. 18 serving 18. Here's Moll. Speaking of nets, sends it into one. And it is a 1-point Irvine lead once again. Marty Ross into the match for Irvine, 6'10" senior from Frankfort, Illinois, with the high-arching soft knuckle serve. Zarkovic roofed. And that was a Gopian all over that one. There is a Gopian in the right place against Zarkovic. 2-point advantage, Anteaters. Timeout, Charlie Wade. All right, Chris, this is how you get caught up in the net.
Well, this is where we get caught up in the twine. On the way up goes David Benz, or Andrew Benz, I should say, and he got his finger stuck in the hole of the net, and he just could not get out.
McKellar able to plug it through that double blocking down for the much-needed Hawaii point. Yeah, Benz, that was like a fly getting caught in a spider web or something. It has been a tightly contested second set, but right now, with Joe Worsley coming back into the match to serve, it is a 1-point scenario. Served by Worsley, good serve. Hodges with the pass. Here's Saeda. Double block was up late, but it was good enough. Nainoa Frank ended up timing it perfectly.
With Saeda being a left, he's tough to block. Hawaii's not used to playing against a lot of left-handers unless it's Ian McKellar in practice. That time they were all over him.
Yeah, Frank was a little late getting out there, but still worked out for him. That jump with Siki much more in unison, but ironically, Saeda able to blaze it past the double block and down for an Irvine point.
Good swing, Saeda leading the way right now with 8 kills for Irvine, 5 errors though, hitting 150.
Zarkovich, meanwhile, only player in double figures for Hawaii, 14 kills, hitting 385. And here is Saeda lining up the putt, and he sends it wrong. So we're tied at 21. A little drama here, and for the first time in a while, we're sensing some energy here coming from this Stan Sheriff Center crowd.
I'm sure most of the crowd realizes how important this series with Irvine is for Hawaii's playoff hopes.
There's Parker on the outside, block, diving save Hodges. And unable to get it over was Saeda. Hoffman tried to send it to that opposite pin, but was too close for comfort, and Saeda couldn't get an angle on it. And so Hawaii vaults ahead, 22-21, and a timeout taken by David Niffen and the UC Irvine Anteaters. Niffen just 34 years of age. In his 4th season as head coach, he set the bar high for himself when he became just the 2nd head coach in the 44-year history of NCAA men's collegiate volleyball to win a national title in his first year. He did that 4 seasons ago, a former setter for UCI. And congratulations to him. Just had another child, his daughter, Selah, born earlier this year. So congratulations to the Niffen Ohana here from the guys in Honolulu. Let's send it over to Ryan Kalei-Suji. Ryan.
Hey, thanks, Kano. Well, head coach Charlie Wade really working with his lineup. We saw earlier that double sub with McKellar and with Jennings Franciscovich. He has since inserted Worsley back into the lineup and has left Jennings into the lineup. So Hawaii essentially has 2 setters right now. Jennings actually turning into an opposite attacker. And Coach Charlie Wade talking to his team saying we have to be more efficient in transition. We're getting opportunities, but we're blowing it. So he's trying to ensure that Hawaii does a better job in their transition game. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. So not only is it dangerous for the broadcasters, some of the fans sitting up close to the match, but even in timeouts, look, even the head coaches aren't necessarily spared from the danger, as Charlie Wade took one off the back of the dome there just moments ago.
Well, at least he didn't have a drink in his hand like you, okay? Gotta give him credit for that. Could have been worse.
Yeah, a purple drink, nonetheless.
That's right.
See some of the fans making it out to the Stan Sheriff Center. Just 3 more home matches on the regular season schedule after tonight. So it behooves those of you out there interested in seeing this team in action, the senior class, for the last few times, get down to the Stan Sheriff Center here as Hawaii tries to play its way into the MPSF postseason where, as you know, Chris, it's well documented, anything can happen. Good kill there by Saeda to get the side and point back for Irvine.
You got a great set from Dante Chakravorty that time, too.
There's the serve by Parker. What a pass by Kanetake. That was gorgeous. Siki Zarkovich couldn't put it down, though. Hoffman with a gorgeous dig of his own. On the outside, it's Hodges, found where no Rainbow Warriors were. The vacancy in that far sideline corner. And Irvine jumps in front.
Hawaii with no timeouts left. Irvine has 1.
So Parker again to serve. Pass by Faye. Worsley goes out to Faye. Big swing coming up here. Goes hard angle. Misses wide. No touch. Point Irvine. It's a Aloha ball for the Anteaters in the second.
We signed Ben Tilbert back in for offensive purposes, I'm sure. Maybe for blocking purposes as well.
So a 3-0 run here for the Anteaters. Can they finish the deal? Pass by Siki. Worsley goes to Zarkovich from the back row, and he postpones the conclusion for at least another sequence.
Zarkovich hitting a lot of balls. He's hit 27 of Hawaii's 52 swings. To make that 28 now out of 53 swings. That's every other ball going to Siki Zarkovic. That's dangerous.
He's
I think over the long haul, he might have gotten him to a good point up to this point, but over the long haul, not a great idea to have one guy hitting every other ball.
He's put it down 15 times, hitting .393, but you're right. Kupono-Fei next in line with 5 kills. We have not heard much from Stein von Tilburg tonight. No kills on just 4 swings. And so, yeah, Charlie Wade will most certainly, as this match continues, have to find some sort of contribution and production from elsewhere. Guys not named Siki Zarkovic.
Of course, if Zarkovic continues to hit .393, it might be okay to keep doing that, because .393 is a huge number. But I think Irvine will probably start paying more attention to him, probably get more blockers up, and it'll be increasingly more difficult as the night goes on, I think, for Zarkovic to get, let's say 15 more kills the rest of the match.
See the update from Les Murakami Stadium. Hawaii up 5-0 on Santa Clara in the 5th. Now, getting back to this match, Hawaii and Irvine, I mean, these were the top 2 teams in the MPSF last season. And so these are 2 teams that here in recent memory really had high expectations and achieved considerable amount of success. And so I think both of these programs are thinking, hey, if we can just somehow get into the postseason, if we can even go through the back door, if we can just get there, we have the experience, we know what it takes in the postseason, we can still do something special.
Yeah, that's why this series is so very important for both teams. They know that, recently UCLA came in as an 8 seed and ended up winning the national championship. Santa Barbara came in as a number 7 seed. They went on to go in the finals of the NC2A. So there's a lot to be said for just getting into the playoffs, and certainly both these teams are trying their best.
It's Brett Rosenmeyer to serve. Still aloha ball for Irvine in the 2nd. The serve is in. It's Hoffman with the pass. Set high and away. Goes to Hodges, and he ends it. Set 2 is Powell, and we are knotted at 1 apiece here at the Stan Sheriff Center. We got ourselves a contest here under the Friday night SSC lights. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the McDonald's match statistics. Chris McLaughlin.
Well, really, as you look down, everything pretty much even as you look down both sides. The one place where it gets a little bit different is in service aces to errors ratio. Hawaii with 4 aces to 4 errors, and Irvine with 1 ace and 7 errors. But the 2 teams being tied 1-1. Stats about even.
You were asking the question, where will Hawaii get some other production and contribution offensively from? Siki Zarkovic has been... See, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? There's no safe place where we're sitting, and I think another drink just went down. Anyway, Siki Zarkovic has been leading the way for Hawaii. 15 kills. He's been doing a little bit of the carrying of the entire load here for Hawaii.
60% of the kills and over 50% of the sets have gone to him. And he's just having an amazing night keeping Hawaii in this match. There you see 15 kills, 20 attempts, hitting .393. The rest of the team has 10 kills with 25 attempts, hitting .120. So this takes us right into how it works. And Siki's going to be our subject right here. There he is. He's in the back row here. And he's going to take an angle of approach that's where he goes down to the back middle, where he's hitting the back row quick. And watch how he passes first and then takes a circular route, goes around, and then heads directly towards the 3-meter line, just barely stopping short right before that 3-meter line, and goes up and attacks it, finding the open spot in the back row. One of his more magnificent attacks tonight, hitting from the left, hitting from the right, and hitting from the back row. He does it all.
Let's check. Oh, that was how it works, I should say, presented by Central Pacific Bank. Siki Zarkovic hitting .393. But we are knotted here at 1 set apiece as we enter into set number 3. And Zarkovic, the only player in double figures for Hawaii in kills. On the other side, Irvine spreading it out a little bit more. Nobody in double figures, but Saeda has 9 kills. Thomas Hodges with 7, and that's on 8 swings with no errors, hitting .875. And David Parker with 6 kills on 10 swings. So it hasn't been an individual with extremely gaudy total kills numbers, but they've been efficient.
Yeah, they really have been. They're hitting 275 now. Hawaii's hitting 264. Notice that Hawaii, Charlie Wade did not make any major lineup changes. Even though Stein Van Tilburg has gotten off to a slow start tonight, he's only got 4 sets, but he's had yet to get a kill. Charlie's giving him another chance here, playing opposite before he, reaches into the bench and maybe possibly pulls out Ian McKellar.
Hawaii hitting 264 as a team versus 275 for Irvine. Joe Worsley with the opening serve of this third set, and a crush by Michael Saeda to get to double figures in kills. He's got 10, and that quickly quiets the crowd here to get this third stanza going.
What a whip of an arm, and notice where he started in that rotation. Started front right, so that he becomes Irvine's first server. He's also their ace leader and most effective server.
And he just misses the end line there. So Hawaii off the schneid, and it's 1-serving 1. Siki Zarkovic getting ready to serve. Second on the team with 15 aces coming into tonight. Took a little something off there. Hoffman with the pass, and Agopian in the middle. Didn't have to get much of it. Just put it in the perfect place, right in the middle of that Hawaii defense. So we looked at the Central Pacific Bank, how it works a few moments ago. As you see the serve here by Parker. Overpass by Kanetake. It's kind of a rarity there. Chance for Irvine. Hodges, the dink shot. Pancake save, Worsley. Frank from his wallet able to keep it alive, and the sequence continues. Saeda ends the sequence immediately after. 3-serving 1. Let's take a look at this spatula busted out by Joe Worsley.
Great roll shot here by Hodges. Look at the hand get under the ball right there by Joe Worsley. Somehow Hawaii keeps it alive, but Irvine with the last save.
Could have done another how it works segment on that pancake save there by Worsley. But as I was mentioning how it works, you showed Siki Zarkovic in that approach from behind the line. Now, does he see the line, or is that just instinct? Is it just peripheral vision, or what's the feel there?
After he digs the ball, he actually knows what a 3-meter line is. He's done it so many times. He'll also take a look out the corner of his eye as he's making his approach to make sure that he doesn't put his foot on that 3-meter line. And sometimes he'll even turn his foot sideways to make sure his foot isn't long going into the line. It's more horizontal.
Van Tilburg, and that feels good for the freshman from the Netherlands. First kill of the evening. And it's 3-serving 4. That would be a good secondary source of contribution for Charlie Wade if Stein Van Tilburg can get it going. Comes up with the save there. Worsley outside the fey. Set was a little low. So chance here for the Anteaters. Back row goes to Parker. And he may touch them all on that.
Yeah, but it was net violation.
And Charlie Wade with the grimace after that call. It's a point for Irvine. 5-serving 3 here. And Dante Chakravorty sends it into play. Here's Hendrik Mole, and he rights the ship. 6'6" junior from Norway.
I'm pretty sure that Charlie Wade and the coaching staff told Joe Worsley to make sure you start working the middle, start working Stein Van Tilburg, get him back involved in the game, and get some rhythm in the offense.
Okay, that one off the top of the net. Good job just to keep it going here by Irvine. Saeda off-speed hit dug up by Van Tilburg. Zarkovic is blocked. Right there is Fay. So Worsley jump set back to Siki the dink. Well, they were all over that one, Chris. Irvine now sets up Saeda. Dug up by Zarkovic. Worsley trying to direct traffic. Bump set to Van Tilburg. Dug up by Chakravorty. Here's Saeda a second time. Blocked and roof. Joe Worsley.
I think the littlest guy in the court got that block. He celebrated like he got it. Let's take a look at this replay here and see what happens. Saeda wisely tries to tool the littlest blocker, but didn't work that time.
And an ace by Kupono Fay as Saeda and Parker got tangled up with each other. And it's the first lead change of this third set. Hawaii in front. Joe Worsley, that is part of the reason Charlie Wade has him out there. He will make a play on occasion that will spark some energy and excitement for this team. Joust at the net, kept alive by Hodges. Chakravorty outside, Saeda, this time up and over the Worsley block. And he puts it down.
I think Saeda was determined that time to make sure that he didn't get blocked by the little guy.
Yeah.
He was going to go up and over at any cost.
You called him the littlest guy on the court. I heard an ahem
Except for Kobe.
from Kobe Kanetake. D-set goes to Stein, and Von Tilburg with back-to-back kills.
More that Worsley starts setting other pin hitters, that's going to open things back up for Siki, who's getting keyed on right now by the entire UC Irvine defense. And wisely so, since he's got over 60% of Hawaii's kills.
7 serving 6. Pass by Hodges on the Hendrick Mole serve. Saeda dug up by Mole. Fay has to give chase, but he runs out of room. A scary moment for some of the fans there in the front row. Some looks of relief for sure. Look at this.
It looked like Kanoa Leahy when UH is warming up. Get out of the way. Get my drink. Get out of the way.
The ball just finds you some nights. Here's Nainoa Frank. The ball's finding him in the middle pretty frequently, the way Joel Worsley is distributing these sets, and Frank making the most of it. That's kill number 4 for him on 5 swings. Served by Worsley, pass Hodges, middle set, Agopian. Again, didn't get all of it. It wasn't a flush hit, but found where no Rainbow Warriors were.
Agopian creeping back up to his 396 number on the season. Now he's got 5 kills, 2 errors, hitting 300, hitting 0 for most of the first game and a half.
Saeda, he brings the heat there, 62 miles an hour. But Hawaii gets the point. Nainoa Frank looming large in the middle.
What a pass by Colby Kanetake. He continues to pass those bullets with such precision.
And every step of the way, we're seeing the further development of Nainoa Frank. Now 5 kills on 6 swings. Bumps that'll go to Saeda from the back row. Diving save, Kanetake to the net. An easy pickings there for David Parker.
Take a look at Joe Worsley. He goes in with one hand and delivers a perfect set to Nainoa Frank. Worsley becoming much more effective as a setter.
Parker with the jump serve, 2-hand pass by Fay. Worsley goes to Siki from the back row, and he curls it hard angle. And in for another kill, his 16th of the evening. This has turned into quite a battle here. 2 teams jockeying for position. The top 4 spots in the MPSF postseason already accounted for. And so now it's a matter of sorting out the rest of the field. Irvine right now on the outside of that bubble. Hawaii in 7th place, so inside, as Saeda goes off the block and out. But we are seeing a prideful display of competition, with the target being that MPSF tournament. Here's Agopian. Sends it long. 10th service error for Irvine compared to 4 for Hawaii. And here's Von Tilburg. Entered tonight 7th in the MPSF in kills per set. See if he can awaken a little bit more here in the 3rd. Hodges from off the net over a triple block, dug up by Siki. Worsley goes to Zarkovic. And it was a hot hit. Net violation called against Irvine.
Ball went out with net violation. Turnabout is fair play. Hawaii had the same thing happen to them about 5 plays ago where they went up and netted a ball that was touch 'em all, as you called it.
David Niffen looking on. Hawaii up by 2. And an out serve. The point goes back to the Anteaters. You see Irvine coming off of a season where they went 28-5, 19-3, finished first in the regular season in the MPSF, and then won the MPSF tournament to get the automatic bid to the NCAAs. Worsley on the second touch, dumps it down past the diving effort of Dylan Hoffman.
Never know when Worsley's going to become offensive. I actually saw him in practice this week. Try a James Shaw turn and put it down with two-hand shot.
13, serving 11. Soft touch serve by Fay. Set outside Saeda. And it's a point for Hawaii. He missed it wide. He had Joe Worsley on him. The eyes got real big, but he wasn't able to take advantage. This is the biggest lead of this third set here for Hawaii. Set middle. And that's put down with authority.
On that perfect pass, White knew it was going to Agopian. Put two blockers up, committing on it, and still couldn't stop it.
Marty Ross with the hammer here. 6'10".
Oh, it was Ross, I'm sorry, yeah.
Hodges goes into the net. So Hawaii gets the 15 first in the third. Timeout on the floor. Welcome back. The newest line of UH apparel and spirit items are now available at the H-Zone stores at Ward Center and in the Stan Sheriff Center. All proceeds benefit UH teams and student athletes. You can also shop online at hzoneonline.com. The Gov in the house. How about Ryan Kalei-Suji? I mean,
ooh, congratulations, Ryan.
VIP awesome. Level when the governor is coming to.
Give him a Miley lay.
Give him a lay and assist in a presentation to honor him. I mean,
big brother of the year.
Out of the timeout, 15, serving 12. And that's Parker putting it down for Irvine, getting the point out of that break.
That was a quick tempo set. How about these numbers? Hawaii hitting .615 and siding out at 91%. But they're only leading by 2 points because Irvine's hitting .450 and siding out at 73. So both teams putting on offensive shows here in the third set.
Ross with the soft serve. Worsley on the second touch, and he caught him off guard again, Chris. Second time he's pulled it off.
He's gradually sucking that defense up.
What have you seen in terms of the comfort level of Joe Worsley now making his 6th start at setter for Hawaii this season?
Oh, he's a money player. I haven't seen him nervous yet. He's gone as a freshman as a serving specialist to start with. And now he's become a full-blown starting center and everything in between. And, you know, he could have been a libero if it weren't for Colby Kanataki. He's just a talented player. He's played a lot of volleyball. Again, one of those ones with a high volleyball IQ, but plays with, just like I said, ice in his veins. Never gets really nervous. There's a lot of fun out there.
Parker getting the side and point for Irvine. Served by Saeda. Worsley jump set middle, and Nainoa Frank lays the smackdown.
There's Mom cheering loudly from above. What a set by Worsley. A great pass by Kupono Fay. He made that whole thing happen. Doesn't get much credit in the scorebook, but he made that play happen.
6 kills for Frank on 7 swings. Here's Parker rising up and using the block to his benefit. That was an interesting arm swing there that time. Little mid-air improvisation that time by David Parker.
His major is criminology.
Pass by Fay. Set goes to Zarkovic from the back row. Rack up another kill for Siki. He's got 18 tonight.
Once again, Siki just uncanny and seeing holes in the block right there. He sees a hole in the... I don't know how that got through Hodges' arms. Hodges has 2 block solos tonight, but he let that one get through. Great swing by Siki again.
Yeah, Hodges wondering the same thing. Served by Rosenmeyer. Backside set Saeda from the back row. Pinballed around and kept alive. We play on. Outside, here's Hodges. And that time, no return. Hodges now 8 kills on 12 swings. He is blemish-free.
Every time it seems like Hawaii is trying to separate from this Irvine team, Hodges comes through with a big kill or a block solo. Tucker Picula coming in doing a little serving specialist work.
Sophomore out of Mater Dei High School. With the jump serve, tickles the tape. Set goes to Stein from the opposite position, dug up by Saeda. Here's Hodges, and the thunder from down under strikes again. As he went deep corner, crowd didn't like the call. It was right in front of Kevin Chun over there, one of the line judges.
I think the referee verified it, though. He looked over at the same time, and I think he saw it as good as well. Ray Mink.
Here it is, here it is. Here's Fay. Blocked, kept alive by Siki. But it'll go in the book as a roof. The officiating crew, by the way, you mentioned Ray Mink up top, Wayne Lee on the floor, Kevin Chun, Ryan Scudder, the line judges. We're tied for the 8th time here in this 3rd set.
OC Sports, presented on Oceanic Time Warner Cable, is sponsored by Bank of Hawaii and Kaiser Permanente.
Well, we're tied at 18. I mean, things are just getting good, people. How could you be reading a book right now? We're in the 3rd set, knotted at 18. The serve by David Parker. Von Tilburg through the blocking down. And maybe that will earn a bookmark just for the moment as Hawaii closes in on this 3rd set.
That was definitely bookmark worthy, to be sure.
Good to see Stein Von Tilburg getting into the flow a little bit here in the 3rd.
Yeah, I think he knew he was going to get more sets. As soon as he got more sets, he was going to get in the groove, and right now, playing well.
Hawaii up 1. Parker, the triple block was up, and all 3 said, "Ahole." Franciscovic, Mole, and Fay in unison. Franciscovic might have got the gist of it. Backside set, Saeda, blocked and roofed again. Kupono Fay.
I think David Niffin's got to call a timeout here. He's got 2 left, and Hawaii's getting some distance here in the early 20s.
Well, we saw those 2 fans sitting there moments ago. It went from a book party to a block party. Well, consecutive blocks by Hawaii, putting them up 3 here in the 3rd set of this volleyball match. As you see the baseball game score from just across the way at Les Murakami Stadium, the Rainbow Warriors up 8-1 on Santa Clara. Von Tilburg serving out of the timeout. Middle set, and that's Marty Ross applying the tourniquet after that quick run by the Rainbows.
Marty Ross, another UOP transfer.
It was with Pacific 2 years ago, helped the Tigers lead the nation in blocks back in 2014. Mole. And he misses the court. It was a good idea by Worsley. The block was not there in any way for Irvine.
Set was just a little bit lower. Charlie Wade choosing not to use his last timeout.
Worsley this time goes high and away to Fay, blocked in a roof. Marty Ross at 6'10". And we are tied once more.
He leads this team in blocks with a little over a block per set. He gets all of that one.
9th time that we have been knotted up here in this 3rd set. A truly tightly contested ball game as David Niffen looks on. Seen his team go from the MPSF preseason number 2 to a team that is currently sitting outside of the MPSF tournament. 8-15 overall, 5-11 in conference. And a few moments being taken, there may be either blood or some kind of substance on the Terraflex.
Yeah, there was blood. That's why Boys trainer Renee is out there, and she's going to disinfect the floor.
And Renee hears it from the fans. Kobe Kanetake taking a few more moments to further wipe the area of any kind of moisture. I mean, that's his territory. That's where he'll be diving to make plays. 21 serving 21. Back row set goes to Siki through the block. Saved by Parker. Touched over. Chance for Hawaii. Worsley. D set to Stein off the fingertips. Right there is Parker. Middle set. That's Ross again. Dug up by Zarkovic. Siki from the back row. Puts it down.
You pretty much count anytime Siki digs the ball, he's probably going to get the next set. He's in the back row. And he is just so explosive tonight. His arm swing just look as pure as ever. 19 kills.
Also extraordinary, that was his 36th swing of the night. Marty Ross busting out the big stick there in the middle for Irvine, and he's made an immediate impact since being inserted in just moments ago. We're tied again. There's Hodges. Pass by Kanetake, tight to the net. Worsley wins the joust. It was David Parker on the other side, so it was a fairly even battle. 6 foot versus 6'1", and Worsley wins.
I told you Worsley's unafraid to push the ball over with 2 hands on a tight set.
Providing some energy for this team here down the stretch of the third set. Parker couldn't get it over the net. A point for Hawaii, and it's aloha ball for the home team here in the third. A rare mistake by David Parker. Just his 4th hitting error. He's hitting .412. Mole serving for the set. Outside, Parker made sure this time. 12 kills for him.
Crucial side out here for Hawaii. Serve receive. Siki on the left. I know Frank in the middle. Charlie Wade's going to call his last timeout to make sure everybody knows what the play is going to be, I guarantee you.
You like that move?
I absolutely do, yeah. Absolutely. So there's no confusion as to who's getting the last set. On a bad set, here's who we're going to set. On a bad pass, on a good pass, here's where we're going to go. Very important. All it takes is one swing right now to win this third set.
We talked about the previous week's schedule for UC Irvine, coming all the way from the East Coast, playing their 4th match in 6 days in 4 different states. Have you seen any sign, though, of fatigue?
No, and I asked Coach Mifflin to give us a sign. Let us know. Let the desk know here if his team is fading at all from the 6-hour time difference. And he's walked by twice already and said, no, I don't see any sign of fatigue yet. We're playing pretty good.
We will see, though, as this is going to be an extended match. Whoever takes this third set, we're going to a 4th. And maybe if it were to go, hypothetically speaking, into a 5th stanza, maybe that's when some of that fatigue would rear its head. It's hard to tell.
Here's the flip side of that. Everybody's played 5 matches they will have played 5 matches in 7 days. So they've been playing a lot of game volleyball. UH, no volleyball in a couple weeks. And the last time they played was CSUN. And they had the bye week, which is good for the rest, but not good for the competitive edge. That's why they were playing a lot of 6-on-6 the last 2 days I watched them in practice, trying to simulate what it's like to get in the trenches again and battle it out, have a lot of scorekeeping involved.
Interesting take on it. That's a different perspective, but you're right. Maybe some of that sharpness wouldn't necessarily be there for Hawaii. We'll see how far this match goes, but right now the Rainbow Warriors have aloha ball in the third. Kyle Russell and his mustache back to serve.
The obvious set will go to Siki, but on a good pass, I think it would be smart to go to Nainoa Frank in the middle.
Crowd making some noise. Here it comes. First touch, Kanetake. Worsley sets up Siki. He had to dodge Worsley and still got the kill.
Look at him laughing about it. That's hilarious.
All it did was increase the level of difficulty. Charlie Wade giving us a few smiles, and Siki Zarkovic on kill number 20. Move, get out the way, Joe Worsley.
That was a great play.
And how about the book club? They've shut it down, at least for the moment. Hawaii up 2-1 against UC Irvine. Welcome back. So some excitement towards the latter side of that third set in Hawaii. Up 2-1 here on UC Irvine. Rainbow Warriors actually ranked 8th in the country, taking on number 14 UC Irvine. And Anteaters still with some smiles. They're looking to extend this thing to a 5th set, but some life was certainly breathed into the Rainbow Warriors towards the end of that last stanza. And a good look there at Mark Presho, former University of Hawaii All-American in his 13th season as an assistant with UC Irvine, a member of the staff for all 4 of their national championships. And as I mentioned earlier, they've won 4 of the last 9 national titles.
He's done an amazing job there at Irvine. You know, coached with John Spraw, coached with Niff, obviously. And still all over the University of Hawaii men's volleyball record book. Especially, I think, in aces. I believe he's top 5. In kills, he's top 10 for sure. Told me the other day that he went on YouTube and found one of his games from Clum Gym.
Still looks...
had a ball. Love it. He looks like a great too, yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for David Niffin sitting next to him, Mark Presho would look like the youngest guy on the staff.
There you go.
So Irvine will serve here to start set 4. And Joe Worsley going to work.
That's what I was talking about, the James Shaw turnaround double with 2 hands. Just twice he's done that now.
He's rounding out the repertoire. Came into this season as a freshman not expecting to receive the kind of time that he has gradually received here throughout the year. Hodges dug up by Worsley. Stein soft touches it over. Anteaters on the attack. Here's Hodges. Big wind up, big swing. And he finds the floor. But I mean, all signs pointed, Chris, to Jennings Franciscovich, second team All-MPSF and AVCA All-American honorable mention a season ago, to him having another breakout campaign, right? A lot of expectations on Jennings Franciscovich, and for a number of reasons, Charlie Wade has split time at that spot between Worsley and Franciscovich, but it's been Joe Worsley throughout here tonight.
They clearly are still battling for that spot. Right now, Worsley's just been playing so well, especially in that CSUN trip. He played really well.
On Tilburg, that was a hammer. Great dig, though, by the setter, Chakravorty. Roll shot that time by Parker, though, misses the court wide, and it's a point for Hawaii. They're up 3-1. You still see some of those, and we got the shot there, too, of Jennings Franciscovich. Some of those smiles, right? Some of the enthusiasm, and that's something that you really love to see, and something that certainly is worth acknowledgement. Siki Zarkovic deals an ace here. Hawaii up 4-1.
I think Jennings knows that he'll always play an important part, because in worst case scenario, he's going to come in for Worsley late in games, be the blocking sub, put a little bit bigger block up front.
4 serving 1. Here comes Siki. Oh, just missed the end line there, and it's a point for Irvine. How about the match Siki Zarkovic is having, though, when you talk about contribution, percentage of this Hawaii offense? 20 kills. They have total as a team 41.
50% of the kills, 50% of the attack attempts.
That's carrying the load right there. Here's Parker over the block. Diving layout save, Kanetake. Siki from the back row. Blocked. Kanetake, despite a valiant effort, unable to pop up the second touch.
Every time Colby Kanetake runs full speed at the bleachers or the chairs, I get a little nervous because of his back issues. There's his fans, there's Mom. all up there cheering. They've got 5,000 people here tonight.
Frank, again, off of a one-handed touch set by Worsley. Gets the point for Hawaii. I know Frank.
Ken and Don and Kobataki, by the way, have organized an amazing group up there. They take up an entire section.
Oh, yeah.
They've all got Kobe signs.
They've actually got multiple corners of the arena covered. I mean, the Kobe Club, if you will.
Yeah.
They spread throughout the seats. As Von Tilburg misses, sends that one long, and it's a point for the Anteaters. And all with that black shirt with the number 6.
Yeah.
Here's Saeda. First touch by Faye. Zarkovic takes on the setting responsibilities. To Faye, who tools the ball. Like a center fielder calling for the fly ball, Siki called off Worsley.
Yeah, he also is the floor captain. He's the senior. Worsley's a freshman. I think Worsley will listen to him and get out of the way there. You see that? He dodged it.
Second time that Worsley's had to get out of Siki's way. D-set goes to Saeda. Good diving save by Worsley. Bump set Kanetake to Stein. Saeda the save there. Outside Parker. And unable to come up with the save was Zarkovic on that occasion.
David Parker has quietly had a pretty good night. I think it's his 13th kill, hitting .348 on 28 swings. Got 6 digs, couple blocks. Solid night.
And he's back to serve. Saeda still the leader with 14 kills for the Anteaters. Two-hand pass Faye. Back row set Zarkovic. Missed it wide, no touch up front. And we're tied at 6. It's been this kind of a match, really, for the entirety.
And neither team really running away and hiding from the other.
Yeah, with the exception maybe of that last burst to seal up set 1 for Hawaii. It has been tight the entire time. Saeda from the back row, off the block and down. That one got a piece of the forehead of Hendrik Moll. And now we see Stein Von Tilburg falling to the floor and appears to be writhing in pain.
I'm not sure what happened there. I know he jumped up to try to get that last ball. He hurt his back, maybe.
Yeah, he seems to be holding his side.
There's a touch on the block there. He's going one way, reaches the other. Yeah, I think it's his back, lower left back.
We were talking about Kobe Kanetake and his back issues. Playing through that pain, Stein Von Tilburg, whether it's an abdominal pain. Yeah, there's a certain amount of...
Yeah, it looks like it's his rib cage there he's looking at.
A certain amount of discomfort that he's certainly going to have to withstand here, as he has told the coaching staff that he's good enough to stay out there.
You see what Charlie Wade did. The first thing he did was he went over to find Ian McKellar, the backup opposite. I think he probably told him, hey, be ready.
Get your legs warm. Could be calling on you in a moment. 7 serving 6 here in set 4. Set goes outside to Faye. Misses wide. Point for Irvine, and a little bit of breathing room as they're up 2 here. It's a 4-0 Anteater run, and that one was awfully close. Awfully close. I would say the crowd agrees with me on that assessment. Pass by Kanetake. Back row set, Siki, the dink shot. First touch, Chakravorty. So the set goes to Saeda, dug up by Kanetake. Worsley sets high and away to Faye. Winds up, uncoils, and unleashes.
I think Dakota Faye was making sure there'd be no lines person getting in the way of this call. He's keeping it well inside the boundaries of the court.
7 kills for Faye. Flat lining it, though. Here's Hodges on the outside, off the block and down. Speaking of big nights, that's 11 kills for Thomas Hodges on 16 swings, and he is still without an error.
Pretty amazing hitting. 667 as an outside hitter. You see those numbers from middle attackers who are only facing one blocker all night, but from an outside pin hitter, that's very unusual.
Here's Hendrik Mole. There was no touch, and it's a point for Irvine.
So Wade might want to call a timeout here and not let Irvine run away and hide here before they hit 15.
It's a 6-1 Irvine run. It's now their largest lead of this fourth set. They need it. Here's Siki, roll shot, diving save, Parker. D-set goes to Saeda through the block and down. And right now, Hawaii unable to find an answer for this anteater onslaught.
Their offense just rolling right now. Saeda especially taking a couple good swings. The one that hurt the rib of Stein.
Oh, and an out serve, just what the doctor ordered for Hawaii. Agopian sending that one long. So 8-7-11.
Come on, let's go to work now. Get one here.
Here's Mole, tickles the tape. Pass by Parker, middle set, and there's Marty Ross. Big Marty Ross. 6th in the MPSF in blocks per set, averaging 1.16 in that category. 1.23 kills per set, and good time for him to bust one of those out. 12 serving 8, and that one just beyond the end line from Dante Chakravorty.
Ross, a 6'10" senior who's playing out his final days as a collegiate volleyball player. You see those seniors playing with just a little more sense of urgency.
Well, we see Von Tilburg go to the bench. Ian McKellar comes in, and so concern for Stein Von Tilburg. An obvious discomfort. Middle set, there's Ross, kept alive nicely by Fay. Siki through the block and down. Back to within 2 come the Rainbow Warriors.
Little field goal shot there by Siki. You know, when he hits, we see a lot of field goals because he hits with such velocity.
Chakravorty goes backside. Hodges misses long. No touch, and that's the first hitting error of the match for Thomas Hodges.
He can take his Superman cape off now.
Finally comes down to our level of humanity.
There you go. He's had an amazing night on the outside.
11 serving 12, Worsley. First touch by Hoffman. Here's Hodges again, rights of the ship.
Irvine pretty fortunate to get a 6'10" middle blocker in Marty Ross and get 6'4" junior Thomas Hodges from UOP when UOP stopped their program.
Into the net, that one goes from Hodges. Yeah, you just think what this team could be if they were fully powered, right?
Yeah, they've had injuries to Tamir Hershko, Saeda, Affelbach, Dominguez with his foot. Hoffman, Kubi, they've had just one after another.
Saeda against a solo block. Kupono Fay denies access.
Kupono Fay with a block solo right there, reaching in, taking one hand, taking the line, the other hand taking the cross court.
And we are tied at 13. Chakravorty goes out to Parker. Is there a touch? No touch. Another out ball. And Hawaii leapfrogs ahead. Siki zones in and then sends it into the net. 21 kills on 42 swings right now for Siki Zarkovic, hitting .357. That service error ups UH's total to 7 in that category. Irvine has 15 service errors. And here's Tucker Picula. Did not see action last season. Redshirted the previous year. Pass by Siki. Outside, here's Fay. Stuffed. The wall was up, and it was Jason Agopian smothering the Fay try. Irvine, the 15 first timeout on the floor.
Welcome back to the Stan Sheriff Center. Here on the sideline, trainer Renee Shigemura talking and working on Stein von Tilburg. We're getting a report that Stein von Tilburg actually has an abdominal strain. She was working on him during the timeout, trying to massage that out with some icy hot. We'll see how he responds coming up after this. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Yeah, those are tricky, too. I mean, that's the kind of injury that could linger for some time if not treated correctly. As we take a look at Kobe Kanetake, who now with 8 digs on the night, Chris, has vaulted into 3rd place all-time on the career digs list. Ian McKellar getting the kill for the Rainbow Warriors.
Allen.
He was 5 away from surpassing Allen going into this match, and he is now in 3rd, and so just further drives the point home that we were trying to make, that, hey, look, there's only a few more matches at home to see these guys in person. Kobe Kanetake, one of those players that will definitely be deserving of the senior night honor that is brought about.
No question. How about a clutch hit kill by Ian McKellar out of that timeout?
Roll shot. Right there's Worsley. Bump set Zarkovic to Fay from off the net. Half-hearted swing, so chance here for Irvine. Saeda winds up, dug up by Rosenmeyer in return. Outside, here's Parker over the block, dug up by Rosenmeyer again. Back set Worsley to McKellar. It goes outside the antenna. And it's a point for the Anteaters. That would have...
pretty gutsy set by Joe Worsley. Went all the way behind his head. That was crazy.
That would have gotten this crowd pretty riled up. They were getting ready for an explosion. And here's Saeda. You see how he lines up the serve. Passes Zarkovic right on the money. Gets the set on the outside, and Jason Agopian with the denial solo style.
This is a great block by Agopian. He just leans into Siki's away shot into that deep corner. I expect that Siki will cut it back across his body next time.
17 serving 15. Zarkovic not a quality first touch, and Hawaii can't return it. Mo tried to knuckle it over, but it's an extended ace, if you will, for Irvine. Timeout, Charlie Wade. The Anteaters up 3 in this all-important MPSF matchup. And Irvine trying to extend this one to a 5th. Well, we got some action on social media. Some of the people watching this one. A little bit of Twitter talk. This one about Mark Prescio must drink the same water that Tom Cruise drinks. Hashtag he doesn't age. Certainly seems true when you take a look at the guy.
That's a great one.
I mean, look at that. There's not a gray hair to be seen.
He had a great career after Hawaii. He went and played overseas. Then he played in the 4-man Budweiser tour on the beach. And then entered into this coaching career that's been so profitable.
Well, it's a timeout, so
Oh, it's the book club reading.
you can get back into the reading, yeah. See the huddle for Hawaii. And again, the fatigue factor that we referenced being the crazy travel schedule that was for UC Irvine, touring the East Coast and then coming all the way out to Hawaii. I mean, we're commenting on it like it's this huge novelty when for University of Hawaii sports teams, it's pretty much another day at the office.
I'll tell you, the other thing is that this Irvine team, while they're on the road, they're used to long matches. They're at Ball State. They played Lewis, won 3-2. Played Ball State, lost 3-2. Played Penn State, lost 3-1. Played at George Mason on Tuesday night, won 3-2. So they're used to these lengthy matches, and I'm sure it'll play in their favor as the night goes longer.
So here is Michael Saeda with the serve. Irvine up 3. Fay had to adjust the run-up. Chance now for Irvine. Chakravorty goes to Saeda. But Kupono Fei was having none of it.
Kupono Fei may have struggled tonight with his attacking. He doesn't have great stats tonight. He's actually hitting negative, but at the net, his blocking has been phenomenal. He's had 2 solos and been in on 6 total blocks.
The serve by McKellar. Chakravorty goes D-set to Saeda. Misses the court wide on the hard angle. It was a pretty remarkable back set, though, by the freshman Dante Chakravorty.
Let's go, let's go.
And we're getting word that Kyle Von Ruden goes all 9. Complete game victory for the Rainbow Warriors in an 8-1 win over Santa Clara. Has to feel good for Mike Trapasso in the game, especially coming off of last night's defeat. Touch shot by Kupono Fei. And hey, the big monster swings haven't necessarily been landing with consistency, and go figure, right? The little 2-hand touch shot finds the floor.
And that kill brought him back to 0-0-0, getting negative prior to that shot.
Even he's shaking his head in disbelief. And what a shocker. We got ourselves a contest in the 4th. Well, Chris, Kupono Fei has done it in a number of ways. 8 kills, but 6 total blocks here in this one.
Yeah, that's what's really made the difference for Kupono Fei tonight has been his blocking. It's just been amazing. And they came at the right times.
Hawaii and Irvine even in the total team block numbers. 9.5 each. Jennings Franciscovich into the front row for Hawaii. Parker says it does not matter. As David Parker gets kill number 14 for him. 27 attempts. He's hitting 296. So Jennings will come back to the bench. And it will be Parker to serve. Parker putting in yeoman's work. He's averaging 1.09 kills per set. So he's got 14 in this one, above his average. As Hawaii had a little trouble on the return. Parker also second on the team in digs, and there's no digging that one from Thomas Hodges. That is kill number 13, still just with the 1 hitting error on 19 swings. And a timeout taken by Charlie Wade as the Anteaters immediately post 2 straight points. We got another break in the action.
Hawaii's got to go back to the drawing board as far as securing, a point. Offense struggling a bit right now. And, they were hit. Their offense was negative for a while. Actually, it is still negative. 7 kills, 8 errors. We're hitting negative 0.42 here in this 4th set. Irvine not hitting much better, hitting 115. So not an offensive show. There's Roger Worsley on the right. Joe Worsley's dad, and Christine, the mom, on the left, traveling all the way from Northern California for this event. I think this is Roger's 3rd or 4th trip here.
They have seen their son Joe work his way into the starting setter for the Rainbow Warriors, at least now on 6 occasions, including tonight. An incredible sort of rise in his prominence and his role with the team. You see some
Kanani Danielson, former UH All-American.
Former Rainbow Wahine athletes overall there, but yeah, Kanani Danielson in the middle of the row there. She comes to a lot of these games.
She's taking a little bit of time off from her pro career in Russia. Came home, did a couple years in Japan, then Russia for a while.
Here's the Kanetake Club looking on. Hawaii trailing by 2, and you kind of see some of the body language. Rainbow Warriors trying to figure it out here, see if they can close the deal. Irvine much more pep in the step because they're smelling a 5th set. This guy has provided a lot of that pep. David Parker, just a sophomore, out of the timeout. Pass by Siki, it's a good one. Worsley goes to Zarkovich from the back row, hard angle, misses wide. And they're going to say there was a touch.
Net violation.
So Hawaii bailed out there on an out ball by Zarkovich. Net violation gives the Rainbow Warriors the oh-so-important point. You don't want to go down 3 at this juncture of the set.
Exactly. Hawaii very lucky there. Second time they've been saved by an out serve when Irvine's been rallying.
Here's Hodges. Double block was up late, and he goes up and over Worsley. And that's some of that give and take you get with Joe Worsley.
It's a little bit tight. Actually, look at. I'm surprised that Hodges didn't try to go over Worsley. Instead, he tried to hit the seam instead. Result the same. Good kill. Got their 21st point.
Here's Kyle Russell. And that is an ace. 67 miles per hour. And just like that, Irvine up 3, 22, serving 19.
Hawaii out of timeouts. Only way Charlie Wade can slow things down is to put a sub in. Even then, I'm not sure how many he's got left. Men's volleyball, they only allowed 6.
Pass by Kanetake. On the money. Worsley outside. Zarkovic puts it down. How about the pass by Kanetake?
He continues to amaze me. Pass after pass after pass. And he passes those balls that are coming at him at 65, 70 miles an hour. And he puts it right on the money where Hawaii can run a play.
And as we have heard from the team, as we have read, he is not playing at 100% because of some of the soreness in the back. 20 serving 22. Middle set. Marty Ross. He has come in. Guns blazing.
Hey,
He pretty much has been unstoppable. At 6'10", he hits from a different angle than everybody else. Finds a way to go over blocks pretty easily.
5 kills, no errors for him. Frank unable to return the favor. Saeda against the double block. And he pounds it home. And it's a aloha ball for Irvine in the 4th. What happened to some of the fatigue we questioned for this Anteater squad? They look like they're just now hitting their stride. Worsley high and away. Zarkovic and a net violation against the Anteaters. And that'll postpone things at least momentarily, but Hawaii's going to have to be perfect here for several points. And it's the freshman. Worsley to serve. Hodges. And it's Powell. We're going to a 5th set. Irvine takes the 4th, 25-21. The decisive 5th on the other side of this break. Welcome back. Time now for the Fujitsu air conditioning cool play of the match. We're going to rewind a little bit to earlier in the evening. Kobe Kanetake, who has 8 digs, got 2 of them on this play. Able to keep it alive there on that second touch, and then how about the back bump set to Siki Zarkovic?
He's pretty uncanny. Whenever he touches the ball, it just seems to go to the right place, whether it's a bump set or whether it's a pass off the serve. He's just uncanny in being in the right place at the right time and putting the ball where it's supposed to go.
And en route to those 8 digs, surpassed the great Alan Allen, the legend, if you will.
Number 3 in the all-time
Number
list.
3 now on the all-time digs list at the University of Hawaii. And he has several more matches to continue to compile numbers.
I think he must be number 1 in the rally scoring era. I'm going to check to see. Because Alan Allen was in the non-rally scoring era.
So we are going to a 5th set. Hawaii taking the opening stanza 25-17. Then it was Irvine bouncing back, taking the second one 25-23. Those numbers were flipped in the 3rd as Hawaii took that one 25-23. And then Irvine able to close the deal in the 4th 25-21. Irvine hitting 307 for the night compared to 262 for the Rainbow Warriors. All the stats, though, and all of that arithmetic, it gets tossed out the window because it is a winner-take-all 5th.
And Hawaii back with their original lineups, and Van Tilburg back in the lineup. His ribs must be okay.
Left with Apparent abdominal pain. Kyle Russell with the serve for Irvine, and they get off on the wrong foot as he serves it out.
He giveth with the ace in set 4, and he taketh away with the out ball in set 5.
And a child will lead them. It's Joe Worsley, the freshman, who will serve first for Hawaii. Middle set, Agopian pounds it high hands off of Frankenau. I mean, if the rest of the match tonight has been any indication, I mean, this is going to be a nail-biter 5th set. Because these two teams have gone back and forth seesaw style like for the majority of the evening. Saeta with the serve, pass, Zarkovic. Worsley tracks it down, and Stein von Tilburg. Looks like the abs feeling all right, at least on that occasion.
Well, he got his footwork right then. He had to chase down a set that was Worsley was just trying to put up high anywhere. And Tilburg moved his feet, got to the ball, put a nice swing on it.
Just his 4th kill of the night. This is a guy who's averaging 3.46 kills per set. And the roll shot not there for Parker. Point for Hawaii. It's 3 serving 1.
What made that whole play was Siki Zarkovic's serve that forced a bad pass and put Irvine in a position where the only player they could set was Parker on the outside.
Here it comes from Siki. Pass by Hodges. Outside set, Parker off the block. Right there, Zarkovic. Worsley goes backside to Stein. Von Tilburg is back.
He's gone from the hospital to the hero. What's up with that? He had to play hurt more often. That's all he needed.
Kudos to Rene Shigemura for getting Stein back in the match.
Magic hands.
4 serving 1. And that serve by Siki goes long.
There's Rene Shigemura right there. Looking on, also doing double duty this year. Women's volleyball as well. It's been a long year of volleyball for Rene. Oh, by the way, I think she does sand volleyball as well.
Yeah. Hawaii 1 and 2 in 5-set matches this year. Now Noah Frank finds the Terraflex. 8 kills for him.
Nice pass from Capoto Fay. Good set by Worsley. Hawaii running a little bit better offense now. Hitting 1,000 here in the 5th set, whereas they hit negative in the 4th.
And the Kalaheo high school grad, Nainoa Frank, 8 kills on 10 swings, hitting 800 error-free. Hodges off the block and down.
Hawaii just cannot figure out Hodges at all. Thomas Hodges now with 16 kills, only 1 error all night long. Phenomenal numbers.
Oh, the net denying access that time for Agopian. So that's a couple of service errors at very inopportune times here in the 5th for UC Irvine, and now Stein von Tilburg will retreat back to serve.
Irvine with 17 service errors to Hawaii's 7. Big difference.
16 service aces on the year for Stein. Pass by Hoffman. High and away set goes to Hodges. The dink. Diving save on Tilburg over the net, and it just misses the court wide. I guess the abs are feeling okay because he was able to lay out.
He does. He goes right, actually lands on the area which he was aching on earlier.
Not bad when your 6'8" opposite is 3rd on the team and digs. Here's Kupono Fay saying dig that. 7-4 in favor of Hawaii.
See if Kupono Fay goes with a jump float here or his jump serve. I think he'll go with a floater to make sure he keeps it in, gives his block a chance to score.
And Zarkovic.
No, he's going with the jumper.
Helping to lead the cheers. Fay with the jump serve. Outside set goes to Saeta. Kept alive by Stein. Kobe Kanetake, though, couldn't follow it up with the second touch. I mean, we're seeing Von Tilburg as active as he's been all night, coming back from the apparent abdominal injury.
Look up the adrenaline flowing. I think he knows he's got to play well here in the 5th set, help this team come back.
Outside set, Zarkovic pumps it long. Was there a touch? No touch. Point Irvine. They're back within one. That stranglehold that Hawaii appeared to have briefly in this fifth set evaporates just like that.
Yeah, 7-4, you know, it's not a big lead. One side out and then one natural point in a one-point game.
It's back up to a 2-point lead for Hawaii, and they'll swap ends here in set number 5. How would you rate the quality of play here in tonight's match?
You know, with the exception of the fourth set when Hawaii, you know, hit 0-71, the rest of the night they played pretty well, hitting 400 in sets 1 and 3. And Irvine played pretty steady as well, hitting over 300, over 250 the whole time. So offensively, both teams have actually played pretty well. I think both teams have serves they would like to have kept in.
That one got in. Hendrik Mole delivers.
That would be one example of keeping the serve in after a side switch. And there's a break in the action, and now there's going to be another break in the action when Irvine calls timeout.
Hendrik Mole. They swap sides. He delivers the ace, and Hawaii up 3. Welcome back. Well, just one player in double figures in kills for Hawaii. It's Siki Zarkovic. He's got 24 of Hawaii's total 54 kills on 47 attempts. Meanwhile, things a little more spread out for Irvine. They have 3 players in double figures. Saeda with 18. Thomas Hodges with 17 kills, hitting .696, and David Parker with 14. A couple of subs here as Jennings Franciscovic enters into the front row for the Rainbow Warriors. And another Frosch, Brett Rosenmeyer. Into serve. Here it comes from Rosie. Hawaii up 3 here in the 5th. 9 serving 6. Outside, Parker dug up by Rosenmeyer. D-set to Stein.
That might have been the play of the night for me for Hawaii. Rosenmeyer keeps his serve in, but then make a great dig, and look at Jennings Franciscovic with a perfect set to Stein Van Tilburg out of the back row as Hawaii picks up point number 10.
10 serving 6. Pass by Hodges, overpass, Frank takes advantage. A 4-0 Rainbow run. Hawaii 1-2 in 5-set matches this season. Irvine 3-3. 11 serving 6. Pass by Hoffman. Middle set. And it's Marty Ross, the ever-efficient Marty Ross.
Great pass by Dylan Hoffman that time, right on the money after a nice run, serving run by Brent Rosenmeyer.
Ross now with 6 kills on 9 swings, no errors, hitting .667.
Those are some clutch serves by Rosenmeyer, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Came in cold off the bench, had to deliver 3 times in a row.
Not to mention a clutch dig in there to help lead to another Hawaii point. Kyle Russell and his mustache back to serve once again for Irvine. 7 serving 11, here it comes. Tickles the tape. Kanetake falls to the Terraflex with the pass. Stein Van Tilburg dug up back over the net, and a whiff by Nainoa Frank on what could have been a dead-eye slam. Go figure.
Could have been 12-7, 5-point lead. Instead, 11-8. New ball game.
Timeout taken by Hawaii. And Charlie Wade, we were talking a little bit before the match, and he says, you know, my wife sometimes comments about how I look during matches. He says that she told him, you don't look like you're enjoying yourself. He says, yeah, I got to be honest, when you're a coach, it's not always fun. It's hard. It's difficult sometimes.
There's his wife, Tani, right there. She's the one who's delivering the information.
Yeah. But it's true. It's a stressful job. There's no doubt about it, and especially when you find yourself in a tussle like tonight. Well, Nainoa Frank finally has a hitting error, Chris. But he had gone almost the entire match without one. 9 kills on 12 swings, now hitting .667. Throw in a trifecta of blocks. Nainoa Frank is establishing himself as a real go-to commodity in the middle for Charlie Wade.
He's got his little cheering section up there as well. That time, I think that overpass, was a little bit too far off the net. Sometimes it's better to not try to put that one down and bury it, but just run a play, keep it simple, not take a chance that you're going to get stuffed by somebody right there. Or whip it. Either way, it's bad news.
Well, the fans that came out to the Stan Sheriff Center tonight treated to a good one. A 5th setter. Russell dribbling out the weight, now serves into the net. So give that one to the Charlie Wade TO.
I give him credit for calling timeout at the right time. Kyle Russell's kind of an all or nothing kind of guy. He's either going to ace you or it's going to be an error. And that time happened to be an error. Hawaii got lucky.
Worsley to serve. And it's an ace! It hit Jason Agopian, who was in no way looking to make the service reception.
I think one of the reasons that happened, was that Worsley tends to serve cross court. For some reason, he ripped that one right down the line to area 5. Another great serve, forces a bad pass.
Bumset goes cross court. Saeda by the double block. Right there is Kanetake. Worsley sets up Siki, block, but he knuckles it up in the air. Bumset by Frank. Little joust at the net. Pitter-pattered on the Irvine side, and it will be a free ball for Hawaii. Worsley picks and chooses. Goes to Zarkovic. The dink works.
Did you see Charlie Wade running up and down the sideline as if he was playing the game? I've never seen him that active. He knows how important this match is.
And they rise here at the Stan Sheriff Center. Aloha ball for the match. Worsley. Diving first touch by Irvine. Saeda through the block and down, and it is not over yet. Hawaii with some padding, though.
UCI's most dangerous server behind the service line, Michael Saeda. Charlie worked hard during that point. Up and down the sideline. Most animated I've seen him all year. Maybe all career.
One of the best scoring servers in the conference, in the country for that matter. Nainoa Frank ends the deal.
You gotta feel good for Nainoa Frank after the whip earlier. So all of a sudden now, be the hero at the end to get the 15th point in the 5th set.
So it goes to 5, and the Rainbow Warriors prevail in a must-win situation as they continue to jockey for position in the MPSF postseason. Let's take a look at the Bank of Hawaii players of the match. Thomas Hodges, 17 kills, hit .696, 3 blocks and 4 digs for UC Irvine. And for Hawaii, Siki Zarkovic, 25 kills. He hit .340, 6 digs, 2 aces. And you got to give him credit because he carried the load almost single-handedly for a good part of tonight's match.
He really did, and did it so smoothly and effortlessly. It looked like he never even tired at all and was asking for more sets. You're just a workhorse all night long. Endurance, plus he had the skill set going, all the shots going. And that is one huge win for the Hawaii Rainbows as they march toward the playoffs.
Hawaii getting close. And this win tonight certainly helps. Let's send it over to Scott Robbs.
Thanks a lot, Kanoa. Well, Coach, it took a while, but it was well worth it. That was a big win for you guys.
Yeah, it really was in a lot of ways, I mean, and that's a good team, a lot of really good players. They got 4 starters that were on the team that won the league, went 19-3 in the league year. So, and we're still just going it very much, stay in the process, one game at a time. But there's no question as we get down to the end of the year, they're all better. They all count, and that was a nice one to pull out for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have 5 more remaining. You're trying to position yourself in the postseason. Is there kind of a sense of urgency with this team right now?
Well, there has been for a while, I mean, we talked about from the beginning of the year, they all count the same. I mean, at the end of the day, every single night is a battle. And I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but I mean, it's the reality in this league that you got to show up every night to play. And, hats off to Irvine. They battled with us for a while there, but yeah, really proud of the guys who got a nice win tonight.
Did you think you would have to set Siki so much before tonight's match? I mean, he was on fire for you guys. He was money.
Yeah, he really was. I'd like him to play a little better floor defense. He's kind of got the neck. He's doing the neck dig on us a little bit. But there's no question he was big attacking for us tonight.
All right, Coach. We'll see you again tomorrow. Congratulations.
Thank you a lot.
All right, Kanoa, Chris, back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Yeah, Siki Zarkovic working almost as hard as Charlie Wade was on the sideline tonight. As animated as we have seen this coaching staff on a night where they needed to get one, and they did against UC Irvine in 5. That'll do it for us. Don't forget about the post-game show. But for now, for Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy. The Rainbow Warriors improved to 13-9, 8-9 in the MPSF. Irvine 8-16, 5-12. Aloha.